What's up, people? Welcome to the Naked Ego Podcast. My name is Kasanda Bill. I'm your host.
Edgar Odhiambo, your co-host.
This episode has been brought to you by Bureau Time. Bureau Time is a Turkish office furniture. They have office solution from a small office. If you're looking for a desk, a chair, to an executive desk, visit them. Check them out at www.bureautime.co.ke. Let's get into the show.
Yeah.
And today's episode has been inspired by Jamlek. Jamlek is so clueless because he did not want to be on today's episode.
We're here.
Yeah,
I'm
so
getting the rhythm.
yeah, we have two amazing gentlemen who are rocking our podcast today.
Yes.
We have from my right, Luther.
You're going to confuse the audience. Hi guys, my name is Vandros. Vandros Bukala, to be specific. It's my first maiden feature on a podcast. I'm excited.
Welcome, man.
So I just popped my cherry, and I'm happy to rock with y'all.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Next.
I was
Okay. My name is Martin Kiaria.
Yeah.
My cherry has been popped many a time. And I'm glad. I'm really excited to be here to create possibility for whoever is listening.
Thank you so much for coming. Yeah. So, this episode, initially I shared my ideas about. I've just gotten it. I'm expecting a child. So I'm in that state of settling down, and I was talking about the idea of do men really settle down?
Yeah.
Do we have such thing as settling down for men, or do men just have babies and raise babies and take care of their women and they move on? So that has been the inspiration behind this episode. We wanted to bring a panel of men.
Yes.
Men who have settled down,
Yes.
men who have not settled down,
Yes.
to just talk about this topic candidly, share about what the experience has been for you, what you understood settling down before, and I think that prompts my first question. Do you have something to add before I?
No, I'm just excited to do this with two guys that I have known, even if not too close, but been in school together. We've known each other a while, and I think for you, Vandros, I think what's so exciting about it is the conversations we had at the barbershop, and then I think eventually when you did reach out to me saying that, hey, yeah, we can do something, I'm like, great. And then today when you texted me asking about Martin, I'm like, even better, bring him on because maybe I've not told you guys. I mean, I've always admired you guys as gents, even if we've not gotten really personal with our sort of engagement. But I think with just a little that I've seen online and stuff like that, I love the stuff that you guys do. In regard to settling down, in my opinion, you guys are still gentlemen. So I'm glad to have this conversation with you guys.
Awesome, I did, no? Yeah. Tell my wife, huh?
Edgar,
I'll reach out.
So Edgar, I just want to point out that also, for me, what stood out with you is the fact that you are on a quest of refinement, trying to understand, and you're in a very particular space in time whereby you're charting your own path, especially around sobriety, and you're doing that with your chest forward. It's not easy, especially given the time and place we are as far as society is concerned. So that's what I found endearing towards you. And then once we go to chatting, I established, man, this guy has a good head over his shoulders.
Thanks, man.
And for me, I'm quite passionate about this topic. I'm quite passionate about trying to see men coming together and having constructive conversations around being better men.
Thank you.
Evolving in that sense. So I just want to commend the hosts and co-hosts and the producers behind the podcast, because you guys are definitely, you've started something that is much needed, especially in our society in good time. And also my colleague over here, Martin, me and Martin, we go way back. We've been classmates since Form 3, right? So, and I also have so much respect for him from a very personal perspective and also from a business point of view. So he's somebody I also lean on from time to time, and vice versa. And we keep having these conversations. But the thing is, we walk away from this conversation feeling so energized. Our social battery is recharged. But then we are left wondering, okay, fine. If we did this with ourselves, how do we impart it to others? Is this the kind of conversation everyone else is having? The guy is having? Because I mean, I also have a select certain tiers of friends, or rather within the circles I've got. I don't have such conversations with every guy. Within my circle. Especially at such intimate levels. In that respect.
All right.
Cool. Wow. Thank you so much for coming. And disclaimer, this should feel like your second home or your third home, depending with the number of homes that you have. So you can come back anytime.
11.
11th or 12th. You can come back anytime. These are space that we've decided to open up for men. So if you feel like you want to share about a different topic later on, you are most welcome.
Awesome.
And to kickstart the topic, are men ever ready to settle down? Let's start with you, Kiari.
So we're never ready for anything. No one ever is. If someone asked me, were you ready to be a husband? The answer would have been no. Were you ready to be a father? The answer would have been no. Were you ready to be a son? I wasn't asked. So it doesn't matter in my perspective if you're ready. And you know, when we talk with Andy, this will sound familiar to him, but the one thing that I try to encourage is the power of choice, and the choice is yours. So it's not, are you ready? On who's the decider? It's only you. So it's only you to say whether you're ready or not. You know, so that question is only based on comparison to society's expectation of what readiness means or settling means. There's no such thing. Just make a choice. Am I ready? Yes. Proceed. Am I not ready? No. Inform.
Inform. I see. Thank you so much.
That's my take.
And I think when we're having a conversation before the podcast, that's the most powerful thing you've said. You said in your adult life, you decided to live a life
of choice. I gifted myself choice.
You gifted yourself choice. Yes. So with that, there is a different, you maneuver life in a different way. You don't maneuver life as a victim. No, you maneuver life as...
Life happens for me. Not to me.
Not to you.
That's so beautiful. Vandross, are men ever ready to settle down?
Just to echo what Martin said, because I share similar sentiments. You're never ever ready, to be honest. Nobody's ready for anything, to be honest. It's just a question of a mindset and a decision. You're a decision away from a brand new life. You're a decision away from a brand new job. You're a decision away from raising kids, if it's entirely up to you. So for me, I think it's a question of at what point do you make that decision to be ready? At what point do you make that decision to be ready? And then you get to evaluate. I think there are certain things that you need to look into. More often than not, still leaning on what Martin said, you're never ready. You just plunge in. And more often than not, these things just evolve. But you know, they always say your hindsight is vision 2020. So when with hindsight, that's when I can look back. I would tell the younger version of Vandross, I'm like, yo, you need to get these things in check. A, B, C, D. Leading to this. And one of the things that comes to mind is you need to have a clear mental state before you get into a permanent relationship with a lady or any person, by the way, because these days we're just not confined to heterosexual relations. But you need to have a clear picture. You don't walk into a relationship without any foggy mind. But we always find ourselves doing so because, I mean, when you look at the 20-something-year-old, what were we busy doing? We've just probably gotten into our first job. Maybe we started making some money. Maybe you've got some attention.
Got some freedom.
Yeah, you are looking to, like a bee, you're looking to pollinate any flower that comes across.
You're a bee.
I mean, metaphorically. I don't want to go down into everything. Yeah. I mean, cross-pollination and everything. You guys get the drift. But I think with hindsight, there are certain checks and balances I would then now impart, because the other thing is we look at society, especially as men, we hardly talk. Even when you think at the older generation, these conversations should be held, yes, amongst us peers, but also the older generation should actually be the ones, because their vision is 2020. They should rope you in, have these conversations in a very informal chat.
You know, if I could add in, Randy, sorry to interrupt. You know, where my brain went was the basis of that question: are men ready to settle? Or am I as a man ready to settle? If you actually think about the intention behind that question, it's based on an avoidance of mistake. It's actually based on fear of failure.
I see.
Yes.
Right? So your judging is so that you can get it right. So your ego is in the way too much. Right? Because am I ready is not based on am I ready to enjoy the journey ahead. It's am I ready to not lose at this decision I'm about to get. And what game is that, surely, if it's not a game? Surely that's fear is your motivator, ego is your driver. Get the hell out of that question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you just play the game.
No, I never saw it like that, man.
I love it.
But because most times, even in my mind, that's where I'd go. It's the fear of failure.
It's fear-driven.
Exactly. It's an emotion. I don't know if I'll get it right. If I do this, I don't think I'll make it.
And surely, anything let me just guarantee you right here. Anything you do for the first time, you'll be bad at it.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, that's
you know, anything you do for the first time, you'll be bad at it.
But,
that's why you know, using fear of failure as a motivator to not do something for the first time is just it is living the most limited life I can imagine. Yeah, because you'll be a husband for the first time. You'll be a father for the first time. And by the way, you won't be a husband to women or to men or whoever you're dating. You'll be a husband to that person. It doesn't mean you'll be a bad husband or a good husband, and if it doesn't work, then you can't be a good husband for someone else. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Just play the game of life.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry.
You wanted to add something?
No, I mean, I'm quite intrigued with that perspective.
Same here, man.
It's quite refreshing to know that, listen, and it just reinforces that you're never ready. And more often than not, that question is, if I'm ready, it's does it come from a point of fear? What drives us? And then, but when you think about it at large, us as men, sometimes we're driven by fear. Fear of
looking bad.
Fear of looking bad.
Fear of failing.
Fear of failure. Fear of having a broken marriage. Fear of
being broke.
Of going broke. Fear of going broke. Actually, that's a very big one.
Money, and somehow you should have all of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like you don't have like a few checks and balances ticked.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of time we are so methodological in these things where like we have to tick a couple of boxes, then we say, okay, now I'm ready, now let's move. You know, rather than it's some boxes are ticked along the way, some are never ticked at all.
And you know the sad thing about that is if when you come with it from that angle, you don't get into a partnership. You employ this person you're getting to fit into your picture of what a perfect
marriage
is,
or a relationship,
because your fear of failure is so strong. You've hired someone.
I see.
Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean. Like,
you don't actually get into a partnership.
it's not a partnership anymore. It's you have your own. You've already measured.
Yes.
You have your own metrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now she's now coming to flag. Yes.
fit into that
remember,
matrix.
all this is driven by your fear of this is how a marriage should be. This is what my dad taught to me. This is what how I should deal with my money. This is why I said I gifted myself choice, because you have to then choose what is the marriage I want, what is the partnership I want, what is the settlement I want. Then, irrespective of what you think you know, act for the result you want, not for how you feel. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Act for the results that you want.
Act for the result.
So you have to pay a price for it.
You have to give up. Get yourself out of your way.
I see.
Do you get what I mean?
Because you find like most times the person who comes in a person's way, it's you.
It's you. So, yeah.
We keep blaming other external factors, but it's you. It's you
sorry,
comes in your way.
You know me, I can go. So you see that question you asked?
Yes.
Am I ready? If I ask myself, am I ready? Who is answering? And who is asking? It's you.
It's you. Yeah.
It's no one else.
Yeah, it's so powerful because for me, I'm in a relationship. I'm in that transition of settling down. I'm expecting a baby in second week of June. And I think I don't feel like I'm ready. I don't feel like I'm ready. And every time I keep asking myself, why don't I feel like I'm ready? It's all about how marriages were defined in the past, how my peers define it now, how it looked like and felt like when I was a child. Now I've grown up to be a man. I've gone through trauma. I've gone through fears. There's all these things are now coming to life.
Correct.
And they're now projecting.
Correct.
And sometimes I feel less of this one thing. Or sometimes I feel more because this one thing is panning out right. And the sad thing is, in most cases, we always measure ourselves because of how much we're either earning or in terms of which positions we hold in different spaces.
Correct.
And that's just the sad thing. I feel like a partnership needs more than that.
Yeah. You have to let go of yourself to bring yourself to the table. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
No, it does. It does.
And it also has to feel uncomfortable because for me, I feel that a lot. And I keep telling my partner, sometimes I struggle. And she's like, okay, we have to struggle together because this is so new. Like, she's never been a mother. And I've never been a father.
Absolutely.
And I don't have a child. It's my first time. And there is no formal education on how to behave.
There's no training manual for your child. And if I give you mine, you'll fail.
Exactly. It has worked for you because it's you.
And it's my child.
Yes, and it's your child.
And it's my wife. It's not our wife. Or a child.
I see.
Okay.
Interesting.
Maybe if we went further, what's your understanding of settling down?
The host has become the.
No, it's dope.
I love it.
It's sort of thing where it's just like an interview thing where we ask you questions and you guys are allowed to ask questions.
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation. So I just take it like we've met at the barbershop and you're asking, you've talked and we're asking a conversation, But I think for me, settling down, it's a lot of the boxes. Am I in a good space mentally? Do I have a well-paying job or a business that's running and getting some good income? Is it maybe like my family setup? Is it okay enough to then accept the person that I am bringing into this family as well? Have I moved out of home? Am I living in a place that, I could bring this person in and say, okay, you know what? Let's create this home here. Am I able to provide? Do I feel like I'm up to par with being able to provide for this new thing that we are starting off, and then just coming from a place like as a guy, and when I feel like I don't have certain things checked out, the fears come in, the insecurities come in, you delayed certain decisions, your person is looking at you and like, yo, guy, like, and yeah, you've thought about it, but you're trying to delay it as much as possible, but not really say that, okay, I feel like I'm not at this place, I'm not at that place, I'm not at this level or that level. So, but I think what I'm learning along this game called life is have those conversations, state those fears. If your relationship is really based on partnership, then there's inputs that your partner will also give you. Like, dude, I don't, maybe it's not that you have to have
the rule book.
Exactly. And it's not up to just me.
It's not
It's up to us. So there, your partner Bill was saying that, we're in this thing together. Let's just struggle together. I find now there's a lot of more comfort in that, so absolutely. I think for me, before I used to seek a lot of perfection. Absolutely. It has to fit in this box. And if it doesn't fit, then I'm not an up to par man. I'm not where others are. Then now it's that thing of comparison. So I'm like, but look at Van Rose, he looks like he's good. Look at Martin, he had this kind of wedding. Oh, look at Bill, he's now having a child. But again, life, you make plans, God loves, things happen, So I'm now learning to also let go of a lot of things. Because I've also been that guy who I want to control everything. It has to fit in a certain box, and if it doesn't fit, then to me, I get destabilized a lot. But in this game called life now, I'm learning to just breathe through it, let go. I think as we talked sidebar, do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
Yeah.
Do it afraid.
Yeah.
And just to add on, what does it mean like to settle down for me? To add on top of what you said, it also comes with me being willing to allow somebody else who's my partner into my world. So my world could be, my goals could be my space where I stay, could be into my dreams, my struggles, into those spaces that I often visit, my family, my friends, and also I'm not a big fan of polygamy, so I would also think of being monogamous with one person and being in a state of mind where me as a person, I'm in the right state of mind where I'm not harmful to another human being who I'm allowing into my space. I think that's what plays in my head right now.
Interesting.
And you?
Do you want to say something?
I answer on what I think settlement is.
I mean,
what was the question again?
I mean, it's such a subjective term. What's your understanding of settling down? Settling. And just let me throw something. Just add onto it. Is you can settle down and not be married, or is married part of the package?
Good question.
Okay.
Is marriage settling down?
Is marriage settling down?
Marriage settling down? Could it just be? I mean, because there's an uncle of mine. I know for sure that a distant uncle of mine. I know they've never had a formal church wedding or even garden wedding. Just a formal wedding setup. They've not done that, but they've been together 40 years.
Yeah. By the way, weddings were introduced by white people. It's not. It's not.
Yes.
It doesn't. A marriage and a wedding are mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
For a lot of guys, the benchmark for settling down is you have to go through the marriage, whether traditional or at least the white wedding, but you have to go through that. And if you've not gone through it, you find like society also looks at you a bit differently. Like, oh yeah, but see you nikamwe stay too, kind of state. But I mean,
but what about those guys who've actually gone through marriage or have had the whole wedding ceremony, but they're still not settled down? We have those kind of people as well.
If I could answer your question on my thought of settling down, I think it's choosing to be committed. I choose you. That's it. Exactly. Now, the form of that choice, whether it's we sleep, it's can we stay, whether we do a wedding, whether we do traditional wedding,
You're
that
committed.
I choose you. And by the way, that choice repeats every day in marriage. I've been married for 12 years, and every day I wake up and I look at her and I say, I choose you. Because it won't always be, in fact, it never is. You don't ride on a wave of, as long as we feel good, we'll stay together. No, you make the choice. So I think settling in anything, relationship, business partner, friend, name it, I choose you.
I choose you.
And I choose to be committed to you. That to me is what settling is. And then now you actively make the choice for the result you want in that commitment you've chosen. Up till the point you choose not to, and you. True.
Yes, you go separate ways.
I think for me, thanks, Martin. For me, that's an interesting take because, and I also agree with you in the sense that every day, marriage is a choice. Absolutely. You wake up, you choose someone. So you choose someone, and more often than not, especially in our generation, marriage has been synonymous to that feeling of love, of being in love. And I'll be quite honest, at some point, that feeling is not always there. It's not always there. And but it's a deliberate choice. You wake up, you choose to pursue someone, and actually it's not even, I think even at some point we should even, I think settling down means I'm willing to compromise, but it should be more of an active pursuit,
an active
channeled towards one person.
Absolutely.
An active pursuit every day. Every particular day, and vice versa. I think if the best marriage setup for me, I would say, is two people waking up, choosing.
I choose you.
Choosing one another every day, pursuing,
each other every day,
pursuing them, one another every single day.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are some days, obviously, that energy will be less. But then, so long as it's still kinetic, it's still in motion.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's my understanding of.
And when those energies are less, it's not a bad thing. You act for the result, not for how you feel.
Absolutely.
So despite your energy being less, which is life,
it's life.
You remember, what is the result I'm standing for here? To choose this woman and to make her feel and know that I choose her.
Give me an example of either a day or a situation where your energy would be less, and how would you go about it?
Yeah, that happens every day. Me and my wife fight a lot. So in a situation, for example, where you've had a disagreement, right? And by the way, disagreements are just different point of views, not one is right, one is wrong. It's just my context, this is my point of view, your context, this is a point of view. And they come but anyway, but the feeling of it is you're disagreeing with me, not with my point of view. It feels personal.
It's personalized.
Until you get yourself out of the way and you realize, no, you're just disagreeing with my point of view. Anyway, but I think now in that moment, you're standing for having a strong friendship and making this woman know I love her. In that moment, it's the hardest decision to make that happen. Because you feel like you're not listening to me, you don't understand where I'm coming from, you don't care about me. So how you feel, you'll want to, I deserve to be listened to, I deserve to be whatever.
It becomes like a measure of love.
Exactly.
And so in that moment, you can just interrupt yourself,
step back a little bit,
call yourself to a meeting and be like, what is it I am standing for in this relationship? What commitment am I choosing? So that you don't have to act for how you feel. You can say, actually, I want her to feel that I'm her friend right now. Because if I'm frustrated, she must also be frustrated. So then, if someone's frustrated, what would I want them to do for me? Now you act and you do it. then if you act and do that, I can almost guarantee you she'll reverse.
She'll reciprocate.
She'll reciprocate. And then now the result you get is what you are standing for, not how you felt.
From the get,
Yeah.
But I think a lot of us act on our feelings.
Yes, because we feel entitled to do whatever we want to do based on how we feel, especially as men.
Yeah. That one is true. Yeah, especially as dudes.
And with that, let's take a short break.
Yeah.
We will be right back.
Awesome.
It's organic, yeah.
You're standing in the place of the people listening that wouldn't have had that opportunity.
So you don't have to say my name, yeah?
Okay, just say a lady, a part of the crowd.
Ready for us?
Yeah. Sawa.
Okay, sir. So, you ready for us? Okay, cool. Welcome back. This is the Naked Ego podcast. And we have a question from one of the listeners behind the scenes. Take it away.
Yeah, so what I'd like to understand, because
Closer to the mic.
I get the question, like,
Sorry.
you let me sit for a little bit.
Yes.
Awesome.
Now for me to kneel. Yeah. So what I'd like to ask, the gentleman, is, because it's a choice you're making to settle down, correct?
Yeah.
What exactly informs the choice? Is it the person that you're with that informs the choice?
Keep going.
Yeah. Or is it this is
Just say it.
yeah, is it the ideas, for lack of a better word, that you have about the idea of settling down? Like, what is it that makes your brain switch? Okay, I think I can do this. I'm not ready, but I think with this person I can do it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why are you asking? I just want to be real and vulnerable.
Yeah?
Like, what's the
Context.
What's the context?
Yeah.
The concept of settling down is lost on me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get it. I maybe don't understand it, because I feel like there's always a switch with decision making. Yeah, something switches and you're like, okay, this is the thing to do. This is the right thing. This is the wrong thing. Maybe I shouldn't go like this. I'll choose an alternate path. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is that thing that informs the choice, and then you proceed with the act in terms of settling down?
Okay. So for you, the context of this question is the idea of settling. Kind of, there's a conflict between the idea of settling and the opportunity of changing your mind.
No.
Okay.
So both of you are married, right? You've quote
Yeah,
unquote
please. Yeah, go there.
You've
I need
settled
that,
down,
yeah.
right? As the proverbial settling down, yeah. So was it based off your partner, or the time to settle down was right? For example,
got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
So can I answer?
Go first.
Yes.
Go for it, buddy.
Alright.
Go for it.
Take it away.
So I don't think anyone with their right mind would try answer that question with any conviction, because at the point when you're trying to make the decision, you don't know. You just make the decision. Now, you're asking what's the trigger that makes you make that decision? No one knows. No one, hindsight. Like for me, I just, we had dated for 6 years. By year 1, I knew. In fact, mine is weird because I'm a hopeless romantic. The day I met her, I told her I'll marry her. In IB orientation. It's
That's
a
true, by
joke.
the way.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
Yeah. So I don't know. If you ask me why her, and I've said this publicly before, though I should say it again. Like, she wasn't even my type at the time, Nilikuwa napenda my light skin in nini. She doesn't fit that profile. But I was just drawn to her. And, and please remember, everything I say is my opinion, not the truth. Yeah. It's just an opinion for you to consider.
Yes.
And then make the decision as you choose.
Yeah.
So for me, when I look at it, and my basis is biblical, when God said, man, love your wife as Christ loved the church, like it must mean we have the highest capacity for love. So I felt like, I loved her. Now, she didn't deserve it. She didn't do anything, but I felt that attraction. And so I then dated her. And to be honest, even if she was a bad chick, I think I would have been like, I'll make you, But for me, that's what I'm saying. It's very hard for someone with conviction to say, this is why. And that's why the thing I talked about earlier was just make a choice. And I want to inspire the same for the partner in the relationship, i.e. the woman. Because it's not up to the guy, you, to wait for the guy. You're not his mother or father. You also have you get what I mean? So
exactly.
if the guy is taking his time, but you are sure you want a commitment, why are you waiting for him and trying to push him to make a commitment? Just step out. Trust you will be okay. You will be. Just do it.
Just take the
Make
plunge.
the decision. And this is the thing. Like, you're making a choice can't be based on if he makes a choice first. In fact, go propose to him. Why is that not available to you? Go propose. Then if he's not ready to make the decision, make the decision. Or if you really want to be proposed to, step out. The thing is, just don't invite your opportunity to make a choice for a decision that matters in your life for yourself. Right? I don't even know when it comes out. It just comes out. Anyway, I don't know.
Andros, you want to add something?
I just want to add that there's no particular moment that I felt, or rather decision, moment that I arrived and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to settle down in that sense. I mentioned before when we went on ad break, it's a series of moments. It's a series of moments. And it's, if anything, it's more of what's going on inside, than even the relationship. As Martin said, like, I evolved within my relationship, similar to Martin. I knew I wanted my wife to be my girlfriend at that point when we started dating. And at that point, she was in a space whereby she was still working on herself. And I still actively pursued her until eventually she was like, okay, nitaingia hii box kiasi and see what's up.
Absolutely.
And see what's up. So I think it's an instinct coupled with just
a self-awareness.
Some self-awareness that you're working on with yourself, because I knew that I want to settle down. I knew that I want to get married. By that time, I think I didn't have all the tools. I didn't have all the tools to make that decision as what society would deem. I just moved out of my house. I just moved out of my house. Of my folks' house, not of my house, my folks' house.
I was wondering how many houses.
Sorry. And I was just beginning to navigate life. But there was this lady, that I saw would make a good fit as a partner in that respect.
Thank you so much. You've mentioned something. Let me add on what you've said. You've said it's a series of moments.
Yeah.
I remember your question you're asking, is it the partner? Is it you? Sometimes you might be aware enough to know, okay, it's the partner that is motivating you. If you yourself, you're a self-aware person and you know you're ready and you know you've worked on yourself, you might be able to know, okay, now it's the partner I'm looking for, and now this is the person, and now click. There are men who have gotten into a relationship and they were not aware. And somewhere in that relationship, they figured themselves.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it can be a series of so many things.
Fantastic.
It's a moment. It's those moments. A moment can be maybe you're struggling to make a right decision, and then she came up, and then the two of you came up with a decision that worked.
Yeah.
So it might not be, okay, it was her, or it was this thing.
Yes.
It's different things.
It's
By the way, it's the same for divorce, eh? It's the same the other way around. There's an article. There's something I read.
Why
where,
did you have to bring it up immediately? Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It makes sense.
It's a reality.
And that word divorce is
Yeah.
perceived as a failure. That's why
Yeah,
people don't.
yeah,
It's like someone saying,
Yeah.
I won't start a business because it would fail. What's the statistics of businesses that fail?
80%.
Is it, within the first 5 years.
80 to 90, 95,
95%.
Yeah,
Yes.
95.
Does that mean you don't start a business? So,
you do.
and so the same way, that's why I related it to divorce, because we have to make it contextually relevant that
Thank you
there's
for
someone
that.
who said the only reason we're still married is we didn't want to get divorced at the same time.
Yo.
This one wanted, but this one fought. This one wanted, but this one won. But once if it ever happened at the same time,
Yeah.
yes,
You take it.
then now you take it. So
Yeah.
that's why you can't live in this theory of things.
Yeah.
Just make the decision and move. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, good.
Power of choice, guys. Power of choice.
I think for me, I just
powerful.
confess something. I through this conversation, it's something I think I've always known about myself, but I am technical. I'm methodological. What's that word again?
Methodological.
Methodological.
Yes.
I'm that guy. You know, I one step
Engineer
at a time,
Jamlek.
one step at a time, one step at a time, and like it has to logical. So
Yeah.
it has to make
Yeah.
it has to make sense. It,
It
has,
has
to
to make
fit.
sense.
It has to be perfect.
There's
it
only
has to
one
be at the
God.
right time. It has to be the right moment. But then I realized, like, with
It
all
has to be
that-
clinical.
And I realized, but then with all that, it's something I think I was even writing in my journal not too long ago. It's got me to not have fun with life. That's I think I can boldly say, like, it's got me to not have fun with life because again, it's right time, right moment. Right.
Yeah.
In fact, you are telling
You're
life.
robbing
You're not
yourself.
living life.
I'm telling
you are
yes,
you're instructing
Instructing
life.
life.
So I keep wanting life to fit in my box, but you see, it doesn't work like that. You know,
It
then now
never
it
does.
looks like, wow, but again, you start doing that comparison thing. Like, hey, look so and so, they're happier. Look so and so,
And you
they're
know,
this. Look so they're
If I can say something here,
Yeah.
as men, please,
Yeah.
comparison is the biggest thief of all joy.
Of all joy.
Because somehow you believe you are entitled to someone else's thing that you've made an assumption on. Oh, look, he's driving an ML. Kumbe, he's from its inheritance.
Yeah.
Then you know, instead of being in the space where, wow, I'm so inspired by that
By that
ML.
guy,
can
yeah.
I work
Can I
hard?
work hard to
Yes.
get them?
Comparison, because it avoids you the responsibility of acting for the result you're comparing. Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
Yes.
You're
Yep.
always
Yep.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So stop comparing.
So act for the results that you want.
And by the
Exactly.
way, you're not married to that person's wife.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a marriage
Yeah.
and they're happy,
Yes.
if you married that same woman, she might be unhappy.
Yes. Yes. That's so true.
And vice versa.
Yes, that's very true. Because
And vice versa.
yeah.
Yeah. And vice versa. It's true.
You're looking, hey, you get look at how that Chilean, then you date her.
Yeah.
It will be a very-
She becomes someone totally different.
So there is nothing like preempted good wife or preempted good
husband and
or
stuff.
preempted good
Yeah.
child.
Yeah,
no,
Look at this
no.
one's child, they listen.
No.
Then now you no, come on.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the self-awareness, to be honest, is the best thing because it allows you the confidence, the comfort to make a decision. And I said, it's not about you're right. It's not from a place of I'm confidently making this decision because I'm sure
Yeah.
it will work out.
Yeah.
It's making the decision
All the
because
same.
literally that's the only way that moves me from here to
there.
there.
Yeah.
And if it works out, you humble yourself and thank God.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey,
If
yeah.
it
yeah.
doesn't
absolutely.
work out, you
Yeah.
humble yourself and say, thank God, I have learned A, B, C, D, F, G.
Yeah.
Let's keep
Let's
moving.
keep
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, guys, we've been talking about settling down. My question is, what are those things that you need to settle down? Like, you guys have been in marriage for a long time. You don't need to list them in order of events or
Yeah. Like in
so
year one,
randomly,
this,
so
year
you
two,
can
that.
just throw nuggets of, okay, for me, this has played a huge role when it comes to me settling down and me having a healthy relationship. So what are some of those things?
Wow. All right.
Kiari amekutumbia box.
Yeah, thanks, Kiari.
Because I was the last one who spoke.
Thanks, Kiari. Wow. What are some of the things that I require, or rather,
like those things that you feel like they are of value to your relationship right now?
For me, I'll be quite honest. One of the things that, when I look back, you need to constantly, actively keep working on yourself. Yeah. You need to constantly, actively keep working on yourself. What does that look like? It looks like, one, taking care of your mental health, taking care of your body, mind, and soul. Yeah. You're your only custodian. That's I came to learn that. And so that you can always show up as the best version of yourself in a relationship. We usually shy away from seeing a therapist. Yeah.
Say that again.
Because there's that stigma associated that if anything they call them shrinks or something.
Yeah.
That there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a question of fine-tuning yourself. Even the finest car requires some service.
Oh yeah.
Every now and then.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing, and if anything, this comes first, is you need to discover a relationship with yourself and God. Yeah. I think relationships is about two people working on themselves and always presenting the best version of themselves. Yeah. And then
so it's not, once you get in, getting in is not a destination. It's a journey.
Oh my God!
It is the longest journey.
The longest journey.
Because I feel like we've been sold the narrative of
Yeah,
it's a destination.
That's the thing.
Oh my God!
You want to arrive there.
Can I correct that? It's not a destination. Somehow it's a KPI. It's, you know, it is.
You mean
You've met a certain performance.
Yes.
In fact, even in society,
You are now your rankings.
In your family functions, once you're married, you sit closer to your uncle.
Yes, you are allowed to talk.
You're allowed to talk.
You're allowed to talk.
So, but if I could add on to the question you asked of what are the things that are needed, you asked what are the things before say now I'm ready to settle. Is that what you asked?
No, I asked now that
first question.
It's more or less that.
Like what are the things that you, for example, there are people out there, there are guys who are listening, there are people who they're still still
I've remembered now. Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, the only requirement, hindsight.
Yes.
First, I have to be attracted to you. Like we can't get away the basics. I have to be attracted to you in all for physically. There has to be attraction. Secondly, I just have to feel the comfort that you're all in.
That's a very important one, by the way.
Okay.
Once I know you're all in, for me it has nothing to do with do I have money? Because actually, if it's a partnership, we'll build those things together. So once I have comfort that you're all in, from your language of all in, not from my prescription, and that's very clear. Not show me you're all in based on how I know.
Yes,
it is being able to see she's all in based on her delivery of all in. That alone, I mean, because just like any partnership, as long as even a business, if you're getting to a partnership with someone like you two, your confidence is this guy is all in. As much as I am. If he wasn't, you wouldn't be doing this with it. Right?
That's true.
So for me, that's the only requirement. And I just wanted to add something on what Vendi just touched on, which is so powerful, which is working on yourself. And I think there's one, on the three health or intelligences, men know to work on their intellectual capacity. They know if I don't know something, go to school and learn it. They invest so much money from it. When it's physical, you both met in the gym. We know to build
make
my
this
muscle,
muscle
I
grow.
go to the gym and whatever.
Yeah.
But when it's mental,
Or emotional.
we assume kangumu. You should know.
Yeah, you should know.
And you should
It should be
whatever.
there already.
Yeah,
And that is
yeah.
why talking about mental strength with your peers is shunned. Or even going to a shrink is shunned. By the way, I see
Yeah.
a shrink at least. So I have two. One that's personal, one that's for my marriage. And-
Okay. I
and
like that.
I see
like
the
that.
one for my marriage. We see that together with my wife once every 3 weeks.
When did you guys
We have a session.
start seeing a shrink for your marriage?
This year, in our 11th year of marriage. And
okay.
it's not that there's a problem. We are actually
That's the thing.
really
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It is to retool. Because you don't know, remember I told you we're all figuring this thing out. And by
Yes.
the way,
Yes.
the woman you marry in year 1 is not going to be the same woman in year 2, year 3.
evolving.
Because she will keep changing, you will keep changing. You didn't have money, now you have
Now
money.
you have money.
You know, you started a business, you left your job, now you start a business.
business,
You
yeah.
continue changing. So
Yeah.
you have to keep retooling your mental
Yes.
capacity to
Yeah.
deal with those.
Absolutely.
For that person,
Absolutely.
for that situation.
And for the
that-
partnership.
For the
And for
partnership.
the partnership.
And remember, the key is yourself.
Yeah.
Have a shrink for yourself.
Yeah,
Have a
and then-
shrink for
yeah, that's so
By the way,
key.
even in my business partners, I have a shrink.
Really?
In every relationship that matters to me that I've chosen to commit to, you
Have a-
bring the
the
mental gym
into the picture.
into the picture.
Yeah. And then I think it's that thing for
That's quite
like
profound,
don't just get to see a shrink when things are bad.
Bad. Yeah.
Like even when things are good, see a shrink.
Absolutely.
Because there's always something to work on. There's always something to fine
You go to
tune.
the gym when you're sick. It's
No.
like going to a shrink when things are bad.
Yeah. Fact.
Just to cement that
Fact.
point, for me, we've been dating for almost a year now. And then I got to a point where I felt like I needed a shrink for us because I have my own shrink. I needed a shrink for us because I also feel like these waters are very new to me. As
her as well.
as much as my intentions are clean, as much as her intentions are pure, we still need somebody to guide us and help us.
Yeah.
Correct.
And if this has been done by so many people in the past,
Yes.
why are we being egoistic,
Yes.
trying to figure it out on our own?
But because when you
Yet we can be
you need to-
guided.
you should know.
Yes. So I felt like that is so important.
Yeah.
Another question was, you guys, Kiari.
Yes.
You dated for how long before you?
2004 to 2010, 6 years.
6 years.
6 years. Did you ever feel like the pressure of now you need to settle down?
With what?
So remember,
and this is the mindset for that time, not
Yes.
for what you have.
not
I guess you have now.
really. The time I felt the pressure to settle down is when, so in 2006, I got an opportunity to go to university in the UK.
Okay.
So that was the trigger for me because long distance, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So because of that, and remember me, I knew this is the woman I want. So to me, that was the trigger. That's when I actually went and told her, by the way, I'm coming back.
Yes.
And I even gave her a ring as a commitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And every year I had to come back to reassure because I made that choice. So I can't remember where I was going with this. Jesus Christ. I was going somewhere.
Yeah.
Please remind me what your question was.
My question was, did you ever feel the pressure?
The pressure.
Yes, so that's when I felt the pressure, but it was my own. Now, the pressure, luckily I have such, and a lot of the quote-unquote wisdom you might think I'm spitting is from my wife also. I don't see it as Martin. A lot of it has come from, it's the partnership. The partnership is present today.
Yeah, it's felt.
Yes, I'm representing it. So, luckily, there was no pressure because remember I also started dating when I was 20. I got married when I was 26. So no one is pressuring you as a 22-year-old to get married. And I understand if you're doing it when you're 35 or 30,
Yes.
it's a whole different
It's a whole
ballgame.
different ballgame,
So
yeah.
I may not be the best
You
to
are
answer
not
there.
probably.
But the pressure I got was in my wedding. Oh, so and so has to be invited, so and so has to be invited. And I told them, here's the menu, Here is the price per person. Pay and they'll come. Because my wife and I decided we are focused on the marriage, not on the wedding.
Not the wedding.
So my budget for my wedding was 200,000. That's what I spent. And
Yours is even big. Mine is 100.
Bas. And that was when we said this is the most.
Yes.
Anything above that, outer to stress.
Yeah.
Because our marriage won't be affected because of you. So that's when I also felt pressure. But I think the principle is the same.
Okay.
Of it is you. It is not external pressure. Just like embarrassment, pressure is a choice.
Say that again.
Just like if I peed on myself right now, I can either make it a joke and laugh, or I'll be like, embarrassment, just like pressure, is a choice. You are the one who creates the pressure, not the person telling you.
That's
interesting analogy.
Because it's a beautiful one. Because when my grandpa used to fart, he used to make joke, and then we would all laugh. And you would all laugh. And then when my uncle would fart, he would be quiet about it, and then would make jokes about him. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
That's a private joke.
Okay, cool.
It's fine.
Let's take a short break.
Yeah.
We will be right back.
Break. Okay,
Yeah.
so. I feel like this podcast is gonna go.
Okay. And it's fresh.
Welcome back to the Naked Ego podcast. Now, the two gentlemen who have been married for quite a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time, especially
In these times.
in these times.
Yeah.
So you, Kiari, you've mentioned settling down or getting married is considered as a KPI. And now you guys have been settled down. You've been settled for quite a long time. What is the reality of settling down?
Yeah. So the reality is exactly what you make it. I think earlier before the show, we talked and I said, marriage, parenthood, business is everything you choose to make it.
Nice.
You'll have a great marriage if you choose to stand for having a great marriage. But if you choose that other things are in your marriage, then you'll have everyone else's marriage and not yours. And to this point, I want to say something very very factual, and that's a reality to me. So, in 2005, my dad committed suicide, and that's the day I grew up. And I only say this in hindsight because I came to realize, and one of my dear friends and the chairman of my company actually told me, it's actually a Kikuyu saying that a man only grows up when his father dies. And the reason I'm saying this in terms of the reality of your marriage is because as a man, you have to delink yourself from the roots of the expectation of what your marriage should be, where you're not the one making the choice anymore. Do you get what I mean? It's either your mother or your father or your church or your whatever. And for men, because we get our identity as men from our fathers, that's why so if you're able now, and the truth is your father doesn't have to die. It's just that's what happened in my scenario. For you to grow up, you can make a choice. And that's why biblically they say a man shall leave
his father and
mother. You must be able to leave the roots, the seeds that are directing and informing how your marriage should be for you to have the marriage you want. Otherwise, it's your father married to your wife. Because every decision you make is based on. So that's the thing I really want to make clear that you have to delink yourself from the things that force decisions on you and get into a place of freedom to choose. And once you have that, like my dad actually told me categorically. One day he called me to a meeting and he said, Martin, you can bring anyone to my home. You can bring Chinese, you can bring whatever, but don't you ever bring a Luo. What tribe is my wife?
Luo. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. She's.
Because, and I feel I have that benefit, of course, because he's not here.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So
get what you mean.
very likely, if my
Perfectly
dad was
well,
still alive, I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't be
have the
married.
marriage
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
have
You
now.
have-
Yeah.
I am blossoming in.
And you're so happy.
Very happy. She's my best friend.
Yeah.
So do you see what I mean?
I get
what
That's
you're
why
saying.
you must
Yeah,
de-link.
Like you could have been robbed that opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it would be a lot
Because I
because
would
of your
have
father.
been marrying my father's marriage.
Yes.
Do you get what I
So
mean?
even if you
See,
try
yes.
to have a relationship with her,
Yes.
a lot of what he would be saying would
Yes.
be influencing how
influencing
you act,
everything.
how what
And
you
that's
say.
why
and,
a man, you have to make sure you grow up, not grow old. Because if your work is just to be your father's son or your mother's child till you're 50, you've never grown up.
You've never grown up.
You've just grown old.
Old.
Yeah. So that's why that thing is so important. The link. And it's not always your father, it can
Yes.
be your mother, it
Yeah,
can
yeah.
whatever that thing is that is
Whatever informs.
this is what you must do. Please let it advise you, guide you,
Yeah.
but not direct you.
It can even be your uncle.
It can be your uncle, it can be your auntie,
Your guide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm glad you said this, man.
Wow.
I mean, when it's,
I'm glad you said that.
I'm thinking about it, Martin, and what you said. When it comes to delinking, and just to make reference to the passing of your mzee, and that's when you felt a new rebirth in that sense. But what about those men out there who still have their parents? They don't play an influence. I'd like to think it's a question of you charting your own path
Absolutely.
as a man.
Yeah.
Yes. And respectfully taking your mother's guidance, your father's guidance. And it's such a, I wish my father was alive.
Yeah.
So it's taking it as guidance.
Yeah.
As guidance,
It
yeah.
is, you're giving me information for me to consider as I'm making my decision.
Yes.
But you have to grow up and be responsible for the
Exactly.
decision you're making.
Yes,
Exactly.
and you're not saying that people's fathers have to die.
No.
No.
I'm
You,
saying
you are
have
saying
to,
for you it was an opportunity for you.
Yes.
When it happened,
Yes.
that's when that bulb
And remember,
came
I
out.
was still young. I was 20 when it happened.
Yes, that's when it happened.
That's when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people should not go around killing their parents.
In order to have a successful marriage, you know.
However,
Yes.
you should kill the idea that you have to do everything they say,
That they say.
in your
Yeah.
marriage, in your
Exactly.
business,
So that's the
in your
delinking
whatever.
part.
That's
That's
the
the
delinking.
delinking.
Because you can never then become a friend to your father if your job is to listen to
listen to
everything he
everything he
says.
Absolutely.
You know,
Holy moly.
you know, you've said that. and
Absolutely. I agree with that 110%.
I know a friend, I know a friend, a little older than me, but his dad still alive, but he dated his wife for maybe 3-4 years before now they decided to get married. So his parents were aware that these guys were dating. The dad really had met the lady quite a number of times. Then came the day he told his folks that, hey man, this lady, I want to marry her. So I want to start the next steps. And I mean, the thing is, I want your not just guidance, but I want your support. And his pops came up and he's like, I don't support this. But the reason why was because she came from another tribe. So that hurt him and he didn't know what to do. But then came what Martin is saying. He listened to what his dad said. Then he sat with himself, called himself into a meeting, and then also talked to his wife and shared what the dad said. And then came the choice of, you know what?
Do we continue?
Do we continue? Do we stop? And the baby's like, if you say we continue, I'm holding your hand, let's go.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of guys have this thing where if you don't get support from like your folks, then your marriage will be
shambles.
Will be in shambles, it will fail and whatnot. But that's further from the truth.
Or rather, it will be cursed. You know,
Or it will be
it's
yes,
taboo.
it will
There's
be
that
cast.
taboo.
Surely,
It's
yeah.
taboo. If you don't get support, it's taboo and whatnot. But bro, the guy is flourishing in his marriage. he told
Well
his
done
folks,
to him.
cool, that's fine. And he went ahead and he told his father-in-law and mother-in-law. And the dad and mom just told the guy, come. And they helped him set up the whole thing. The only thing he was told is like, just go and get the guys who you call your friends. Your male friends, those guys who you know will hold you down. Bring them.
I love that.
Let's have, and they had a conversation. And what the dad just said is that, this is my son. I'm going to hold his hand. But I'll not always be there.
The wife's
father-in-law.
The father-in-law.
Oh,
I'll
that's
not
so
always,
amazing.
I'll not
That's
always
beautiful,
be,
man.
but I'll
That's
hold
so
his
beautiful.
hand.
Wow.
But I need to hold his hand with you guys being
his
there.
pals.
Because I will not always be there.
Yeah.
You're probably the guys who he'd probably contact first before he comes to me.
Yes.
You know, so as I'm showing you that I'm going to hold his hand, I need you to make the commitment to hold this guy's hand as well. So, I mean, they did it. They did all the traditional ceremonies. They did them. There was no show of even those guys who had the talk for sasa umsa amekuja peke yake kwani mzazi wake ako wapi, because all his ceremonies he went solo.
No
Like
one
his folks
cares.
were
They're
not-
too busy in their
Yeah.
own lives.
Yeah.
So what I liked is that as long as the girl's family was not showing anything to do with any reservations about or where his family members, no one in the audience talked.
No one.
No one.
Those who tried were just told, excuse me, please just step out. You can watch the ceremony from outside.
That's such an amazing
Bruh, the
story.
guy when got married, he's doing his thing.
I'm sure
he has
him and
two
his
kids.
father respect each other and probably have, or that's an opportunity.
That's
That-
an opportunity.
that was an opportunity for them.
It got his dad to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
now
That was a
now
true
the guy
display
saying that
of
the only-
manhood. Exactly.
Yeah. And you know, the beautiful thing is that when there's that disagreement, it's coming from a point of love. Your father, your
Yes.
mother will always give you their best.
Yeah.
But their best might not be based on the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like-
always subjective.
It's always
Yes, it's
subjective.
always-
So you can receive it with, I get it. And I get that you're trying to, you're
yeah.
giving me
Yeah.
your best.
Yeah.
But from what I know,
Yeah.
this is the decision I'm making.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't look at it, you can't support me.
No, it's so powerful, that delinking. And especially if you look around in your circles, in your spaces, men who have been under the umbrella of their fathers, even in the businesses, the decision making, just look around, you will see it.
Yeah.
You have to get to a point where you delink, you as a man, and go out there and make those mistakes.
Yeah.
You just need a space of you can come back and you'll be accepted as a man.
No parent will ever.
Yes.
Sexually.
Yes. So I think there are so many men out there who have been incapacitated with that.
By that.
It's true.
And they feel like that umbrella is what they need. No.
Absolutely.
Go out there.
Go out there and do
make
the thing.
friends.
And
make
remember,
right friendships.
Yeah.
It is still based on fear.
Fear. Yeah.
Also, still
Fear of the unknown.
still building on delinking. When you think of now, a lot of guys, especially our age, older, even senior. Let's just say the male population.
Yeah.
we carry a lot of childhood wounds.
Yeah.
We carry a lot of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
That we are not even aware of.
Yeah.
But we go around projecting. More often than not, we tend to project it to the people closest to us.
That's true.
More often than not, it's our spouse.
Yeah.
And you always lean on the fact that, my dad was a drunkard. So
It becomes your crutch.
What else?
It becomes your
crutch.
getaway from
My
anything
dad
that
used to beat
happens.
I watched my dad. I watched my dad beat my mom. So I don't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not choosing to not beat your wife.
Yeah. You're not choosing to not beat your wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that conversation around delinking
It's powerful, man.
comes into play, especially in such situations as well. Because as a man, you ought to know. You can only carry that as an excuse for so long, but then now it becomes your
You have
responsibility.
to grow up. Yeah.
It becomes your responsibility to deliberately work on those generational curses,
Yes.
breaking those generational curses, working on those childhood traumas that you might have experienced. So that's when I'm thinking of delinking as well, that also comes to mind. That angle also comes to mind of delinking. And empowering yourself in that sense. Because I know a couple of guys who are like, yo, man, everybody's doing it. Even my friends, I see my friend, not my immediate friends.
No, I get what you're saying,
but
yeah.
somebody would say, all my friends are cheating.
Yeah.
I've watched my uncle's dog.
Yes.
I've watched my father do the same.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know any better.
Yeah.
You're not even choosing to be a faithful or unfaithful person.
You're just doing it because the train is going there, so let's go.
Exactly. You're just jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
And Vendi has touched on a very powerful word that defines us as men, but I think it has the wrong language. That word responsibility. People feel it is, if something goes bad, if it's your responsibility, you are to blame. If something goes good, if it's your responsibility, you're to be glorified.
Yes.
But that's not what responsibility is.
Just
Responsibility is not blame, shame, guilt, all these things. Yeah. It's just saying, I'm standing for being a cause in the effect of the result that I want. That's all responsibility is. That the result I want, I am responsible for causing it. That is it. Now, whether it works out, how is that to do with you?
Nope.
Whether it fails, what does that have to do with you? That's when you get to understand God's real grace. That whether it works out or not, you realize this is grace. Yeah, this is not me. Anyway.
Interesting. Now,
and then I just want to add, moving into relationships, I think there's a way we ought to move with awareness, with understanding. I remember during, just like Martin, me and my wife have had so many disagreements from time to time. And that's the thing, you keep wondering, why is it not working? And and so on and so forth. Why doesn't she see my point of view? Or why don't I see her point of view? And so on and so forth. And just like Jamlek, women, we're fix.
Yes.
Like to fix. We try to make logical rationale around things. So anyway, I stumbled across this thing about when it comes to relationships, the evolution of relationships. And the first time you guys meet, you guys are together, it's all rosy. You see each other through rose-tainted glasses. Any faults are overlooked. The red flags are quite actually amber. Yeah. You tend to bypass a lot. Yeah. And you tend to take in a lot because you just love this person. And in your head, there's all that chemical. Reaction happening, with oxytocin, dopamine, and all that, and so on and so forth. But that during that stage, it wears out, and scientifically they say it runs between 2 to 2 years. That's the honeymoon stage, and then from there you get into the power struggle. Now, the power struggle is where people tend to be, they're like, more often than not, the reason why we have rose-tinted glasses is because nature wants to pair people who are polar opposites. Opposites attract. So, more often than not, now, reality sets in, you get to identify this, you get to identify your partner is your total opposite. All of a sudden, the things that you start picking up things that are so irritating to you, but that you once overlooked. You once overlooked. They were never an issue before. Then they're like, wait a minute, this guy kind of snows too much. Because now the truth.
He snores.
There's that revelation whereby you get to understand this person for who they are, and everyone now. You get into the power struggle whereby everyone is now seeking to find their own identity within the relationship. And more often than not, so that's where the bickering starts. You're not seeing my point of view, but your point of view is not the only view.
It's
also
not
the
the
other
only
one.
view.
Just
It's
a
not-
view.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
just a view.
like any other.
Exactly. But you'd be surprised. Most couples stick in this stage
Yeah. Till death.
till death.
I agree.
I see. Powerful.
They stick in the power struggle.
Yeah.
Yes.
They never come out of that
They
stage.
never
Yes.
come out of that stage.
And what they do is just set like
Yeah. In fact, that's the one.
you just
Yeah.
like,
That's the reaction.
and then now you start because of your fear of what it would look like if you divorce. You start just
Wow.
doing your things on the side. She's done
Yeah,
her thing.
yeah,
You're doing
yeah.
you are cohabiting.
You're cohabiting.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, there are so many people who are stuck in that stage,
Yeah.
Yes.
who are very big influencers of so many marriages out there.
Oh yeah.
And now, when you go out there in fear
Marriages
of, I don't
are
want,
bad.
yes, it's because of the reference of what you've seen.
According to who?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Exactly.
According
It'd be
to
like
who?
that, my
and
guy.
then you know bad news is one that
It
yeah.
goes.
And let me tell you,
Lies.
the people who have good marriages are so busy working on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't have time to,
Exactly.
They don't,
And
Exactly.
then in business,
Yeah.
you keep hearing entrepreneurship is, the
yeah.
way to make it is to cut deals.
Yes,
No,
yes.
Yeah.
just work on your business
Just keep
diligently.
working.
Yeah, pay your taxes,
Yes.
treat people right.
Right.
nini.
Yeah.
And the people doing that are so busy doing it. You're
Yes.
not hearing of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
they never call for a mkutano.
Oh,
Kama
yes.
I tell you how
But
good the
that
business
is why, as men, please surround yourself with people greater than you. Be the fool among kings, not the no. Yes, be
Yeah, the fool among kings, not the king among fools.
Not the king among fools.
Because if you hang out with people where what Vendi has said is normalized,
Yes.
i.e. the power, you call it the power struggle,
struggle.
The power
then
struggle.
that will be the identity of your marriage. You will no longer choose to fight for the result you started with,
Yeah.
because now what's normalized is
what you go with.
Individualism.
wanawake wanakuanga hivi.
Because that's not the language that goes. You know,
Yeah.
kila
So,
time ni
yeah,
kesi,
yeah.
kila time ni, kila
Yeah,
time ni
yeah,
that.
yeah. And then-
But now it's
Yes.
maybe you find a guy who'll come and say, "Oh, kila time ni kesi. What's your kesi about?"
Yes.
A lot of guys don't interrogate
They
further
don't
to know
interrogate.
what's the case about.
And
What's-
can I guarantee you, for being in my marriage for 12 years and been with her for 70, let me guarantee you, the effort you put into, because now we are logical, the unit of effort that you put
Yeah.
into moving for the power struggle to having an abundant relationship where you now empathize and understand each other and accept each other for the beauty of who they are, being different from who you are, is much smaller than the effort to try go fulfill what you're missing outside.
Wow.
Let me tell you, if you want your wife to give you hot sex at midday, strip on a pole or whatever,
Yeah.
all you need to do is create the environment for that to happen. Now, if if you're in I'm using very
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
I love
if
it.
you remember this is your wife,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
there's already a basis.
Yes.
If you've constantly been acting for the result, there's already a basis of acceptance. The effort to get her to do it versus a third party, which one is easier?
Hard doing it.
Hard doing it.
Yeah,
And let me
working
tell
towards
you,
her doing it.
One is different. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
In fact, the joy of it in marriage is multiplied.
Yeah.
Your kids see the beauty of your relationship,
Yeah.
your partnership grows,
Yes.
your love,
You're bonding.
Yes.
Then even the friends you have around you, this
I mean,
is
exactly.
much
And-
more rich.
And
much more rich.
actually, that's the final stage of relationships.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Actually, no.
which is amazing. You see, you've just stated
No,
it.
no, actually, it's true because that's the, what do they call it? Is it it's not the actualization, but it's the, for lack of a better word, but it's the culmination of the relationships.
Yeah.
But let me go, there's one after the power struggle, then you celebrate individualism. So it's acceptance. Yeah. You guys are in the relationship.
to change each
I'm not
other.
trying to change each other. Yeah, I'm not trying to change Jamlek. Yeah, I accept Jamlek for who he is.
Yeah.
You celebrate.
Yeah.
And it's there's beauty in it.
And there's beauty in it.
Not from us.
Yeah. Understand? What? Stop
Oh,
blushing.
God.
So you
Stop blushing.
so here's the thing, yeah. You get to accept your individuals. Yeah. And your differences.
Yeah.
You celebrate your differences actually. Yeah.
That is it.
You celebrate your differences. Yeah. And then from there now comes the culmination of it, such that you guys have so much love for one another.
Yeah.
Your love spills over to others, your kids,
Others, your
Yeah.
kid-
your friends.
your friends.
Yeah. Even you can even start a foundation together. You understand?
Obamas.
Yeah.
You rule a country.
You rule a country together. Yeah. Actually, it's
amazing.
true.
That's- yeah.
Because at that point, your love is so. You've
But they
conquered.
share, actually, true. They
Yeah.
share their love with us.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they share
did.
their love with
'Cause
us.
You could
They
tell.
they just
tell.
have-
You
They
could
did
tell.
their love with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look at what got
And they're
them.
still doing it.
Exactly. And look at where
That's so powerful.
it got them. Exactly. Because of
That
the
is
love.
the epitome of partnership.
That's the epitome of partnership. Such that your love
You're
is
now-
permeates to other people.
Yeah.
Is celebrated
Yeah.
by others.
You
Yeah.
challenged me, Vendi. Because
So
I'm not even thinking of businesses
Yeah.
that like even think of foundations,
Yeah.
Johnson and Johnson. It's all partnerships. Even Facebook and Zuckerberg and his wife Chan, their foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Yes.
Like it
Exactly.
reaches a place, and remember, divorce is not a bad thing. Just because it happened.
Yeah.
But they reach that place where their respect and appreciation for each other now spread to.
Oh, yeah.
To everyone else.
I'm challenged.
Yeah.
You see Kit and Martin and Kit. Wait and see. The carrier foundation.
That's the spirit, and you're not so far away from that, and that's what's encouraging,
I love
Martin.
that. Yeah.
You're not far away
It's
from
not,
that.
it's not a far-fetched dream.
Yeah, I'm
It's not a
inspired.
far-fetched
I'm
dream.
very inspired.
And actually, that's what we as men should always strive for.
That's true.
Yeah, and even women too. Yeah, being in a marriage where it's celebrated by others, and you gave the Obamas are a classic example.
Yo, man,
Yeah.
Kabisa.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Several years. I mean, how many years did they leave office? Have they left office? Do you know they left office in 4? This guy was 4, and now this guy is 2 years in, or 1 year in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
about
some,
6
yeah,
years later,
yeah.
And still.
we still feel their impact.
Oh, yeah, because I forgot we had Trump.
Yeah, Trump was the one-time president.
Trump,
Yeah,
bro. Yeah.
and we still feel their impact.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are a national symbol of love.
That's a good
yeah.
standard.
They just
Yeah.
post one picture and done.
Done.
The internet gone wild.
Yeah, but they had to
Love it.
fight through the
No,
power
they-
struggle.
They did.
Yeah, and you have to be deliberate. Yeah. It's not something that you wake up one day or
Should
it's
tag them in this
automated.
thing.
Those stages.
Tag them in this thing.
Tag them in this episode.
Yeah,
Anyway, awesome.
Oh man.
yeah. So that's
Band of thanks, man. Thank you for
That was very
painting
powerful.
that pic. That's powerful.
Very powerful.
Oh man. I can't thank you guys enough, man. This has been a different podcast. What do you think?
This episode has been.
not
Me, what I
podcast,
can just tell you guys is
episode.
a big thanks. Definitely feeling challenged. A lot of insight. It's good to see parts of yourself through without someone really telling you that they've seen that side of you. Because I do a lot of introspection generally. Yeah. So now when I've heard a lot of the things you've said, then I'm just like, wow, okay. I'm showing myself there. But yeah, I think what I just say is a big thanks. Thanks for taking the time to come and record this with us. Thanks for the knowledge, the insight. And I think even outside the podcast, yeah, man, if you can keep engaging, man,
More than happy.
I think there's still a lot to be talked about, still a lot to be learned. So thanks, man. Thanks you
more
guys.
than welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you guys. For me, it's a pleasure for us. For me, actually, it's been a learning lesson. And what you've said, what you've said about the stages, it's so important to me where I am right now because I'm settling down and I'm expecting a kid. There's so much going on and things are happening so fast, and sometimes I lose the grip of what's happening and when it's happening. So it's very important for me personally. Even outside this podcast, I would like to connect with you guys.
Yeah.
So we would like to have lunch or do stuff together for the benefit of another mandem.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
if you guys have any inspiring line to say or anything, parting shot for the boy child, for people who are listening to the podcast. Yeah. And as they think of the parting shot, you can listen, like,
Watch, like, share,
subscribe, and you ding the bell. And you ding the bell.
Ding the bell. Yeah, ding the bell.
All right. You want to go first?
For me, I would just like to say that the institution of marriage is sacred. It requires two people coming together and putting in work. Chances are this is the most work you're going to ever put in your life, to be deliberate. And just like what Martin mentioned, that you need to, when it comes to your outcome, you need to work towards the outcome you envisage. Yeah, you desire. Nothing is going to be handed on you, handed to you on a silver platter. You just need to put in that work, be deliberate, be conscious, be present in your marriage. So, and on that note, guys, thank you for hosting us. Like I said, this was my maiden podcast. I didn't know what to make out of it. To be honest, I also talked myself into it because I'm also in another, like I said, I'm in another chapter of my life whereby I need to constantly push myself to try something new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not even fear, to conquer that fear.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it afraid. That's Martin's lovely slogan.
Yeah.
Do it afraid. That's my takeaway. Yeah. So this on its own was an opportunity for me to actually put myself out there, speak. I'm quite passionate about this conversation. I'd definitely like for us to maintain ties.
Yes.
Even if you wish to invite me again on a different topic, I'm happy to offer my time and share, because I also truly enjoyed, from a very organic perspective, the discussions we've held. And I always enjoy my friend Martin's. He's a bit of a wildcat kiasi. And that's what I like about him. He always spits the truth. I also want to thank him because Jamlek approached me. I was like, I'm having this conversation with Martin here. Kabisa. And also thank you, Martin, for honoring the invite as well.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sawa. So thanks again, guys.
All right. Vendi has said the thing I was going to say about work.
You keep saying Vendi. People
Oh,
don't
no,
know
no.
No, for the listeners and the viewer.
Okay, Vandross.
So Vendi is
Vendi is
Yes.
Vandross.
I'll just call him Vendi. Yeah.
So he has touched on one key thing I was going to say, but maybe my part in short would be, I'm sure you as the listener has felt challenged. Many thoughts are revolving around your head right now. I just want to encourage you that there's nothing to fix. There's only something to add. You're not broken. You're perfect from the context and life that you've lived. There's just now you giving yourself the opportunity to add something to your tool that you didn't have.
Yeah.
Or don't add it. Remember, nothing we said is the truth. Everything is just our opinion,
Just an opinion.
for your consideration.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So just feel perfect in God's image as you are. And should you find something valuable, add it to your toolkit. And I thank you guys for. I think, as I was telling you earlier, my life's vision is to create possibility. I get paid to do it for businesses, but I make time to do it for people. And I thank you so much for giving me the platform and the time to do my calling. So thank you. Thank you. All right.
Have something to say? No. As usual, this is the platform where men and women are willing to strip down their ego and be authentic and vulnerable while they share their story. This is the Naked Ego Podcast. Thank you for listening.